Hey, what's happening? You're watching Toonami TV. 3 days after Newcastle United were taken over by the PIF, Mike Ashley finally sold the club after 14 years. 3 days later, I'm still... I don't know. It's crazy that we are now the richest club in world football. Newcastle United Football Club is the richest club in world football. I have to pinch myself and say this is now a reality. We are going to be up there with the top elite. But in order to do that, we have to grow our club profile. We can't just, go in the window and buy this player and that player. It's going to be a gradual process. We have to be, looking to climb the table, which we will do this season. It'll be to stay in the Premier League and go from there. Things don't happen overnight, but to say that we can splash out on players and afford their wages and to do works on the stadium, to improve the training facilities, to be the world's most famous club gives me so much satisfaction. I'm so happy, as a Newcastle fan. I can't take the smile off my face with this takeover. Yes, it's had some controversy. Of course it has. There'll be fans out there who are jealous and bitter about it, but nobody really cared about the Chelsea takeover. Nobody really cared about the Man City takeover. But because it's Newcastle and we've got, £320 billion in the bank, it seems to be a problem. But I don't care. As long as my club's successful, on and off the pitch, I'm buzzing with that. And the fact that we are linked, with some of the top managers in world football also gives me plenty of satisfaction. And the reality is, Steve Bruce is going to be gone in the next 24 to 48 hours. There's no way on earth that he's going to have the money to spend to take this club forward. For him to have the audacity to say that he wants to continue in the job is unbelievable. Bye-bye, Bruce. You can go as far as I'm concerned. We've been linked with the likes of Ralph Ragnick, who was a sporting director. He had a good, managerial career at RB Leipzig. We've been linked with Antonio Conte, who's out of work, who, has won things, at Chelsea and, Juventus. He's also managed Italy as well. He's got a fantastic profile. We can also take managers in jobs, such as Brendan Rodgers, for example. We have got that power now to really take this club to another level, and I'm excited by that. We're not going to be playing this dinosaur football, 5 at the back, sideways, backwards football under Steve Bruce. We're going to be playing attractive football, but as said, it's not going to happen overnight. We have to get the right manager in charge, and we also have to get, the right, players, in line to align what the new owners want. And I'm just excited by the whole future going forward of this football club. With what Amanda Staveley's had to say, I'm confident, just so down to earth, and I love that. She said a lot more, in 2 days than what Mike Ashley and Lee Charnley and the rest of them have said in 14 years. And again, you have to feel excited for, the running and the future of this football club going forwards, because in about 5 or 6 years' time, 7 years' time, we will be playing Champions League football again at St James's Park. To hear that anthem at St James's Park in 5, 6, 7 years' time, whenever that may be, is so exciting. I could say it beforehand, but I'm not going to get ahead of myself. I know it's going to be a steady progress. It's going to be a process where we have to, try and get to that level. So far, we're in a relegation battle. Of course, we'll get away from it. But to think in 3 or 4 years' time, we're going to be competing, in that top 6, top 4, and going on to win the Premier League title, hopefully, in years to come. Oh, I love it. I mean, she said there's a 5-10 year plan. She's not promising anything, but she wants the best, for Newcastle United. She wants us to be at the very top, and that's what all fans want, is for their club, to compete on and off the pitch. And we weren't getting that with Mike Ashley, but we're going to get that with, the PIF. Amanda Staveley, listen, I trust her. I trust the whole team, behind, what they're trying to do to take this club forwards. And to say that she's going to, invest in players She's going to bring in the best managers. She's going to bring in, the money that's going to help us get, a better state-of-the-art training ground. I mean, it does need a lick of paint. The stadium in and out. I mean, the stadium's going to be transformed in and out. We all know that. It's just absolute madness. It really is. To see all the fans celebrating as well on Thursday night, like I've never seen the fan base so united like that. And to say that we're going to get packed out houses, for the foreseeable future is unbelievable. I can't wait for the Spurs game, next Sunday. I'm glad I kept a hold of my season ticket because the future's bright, with the club in safe hands of the PIF and, with Amanda Staveley and the rest running the football club. But, I want to sort of talk about like managers and the one manager I want to talk about who would be my number one choice to take the Newcastle job would be Antonio Conte. So I've just mentioned him briefly at the beginning of this video. And the reason why I want Antonio Conte is because he is a passionate manager. He barks out instructions on that technical area, jumps up and down. He thrives off the crowd, and we are a very down-to-earth, fan base. We are a fan base that, has a lot of energy, that can, get behind the players and get behind the manager when all things are going well. You've seen that, under Rafa Benitez, we were all singing off the same hymn sheet, and you get that with Antonio Conte. We will, buy into what he's trying to do. And you've only got to look at Antonio Conte's CV for what he's won at Chelsea, the Premier League. He's won the FA Cup. What he's done at Juventus, winning the Serie A and much more. He's got his CV of supporting, some of the local sides as well and trying to make them, better and trying to bring, players through. But not only that, like his CV, it's fantastic, and he's out of work. And I feel like with the money that we have, if there's an ambition which he's going to have from the PIF, then he's going to take that. There's no question. And I feel like he could replace Bruce within 24 to 48 hours. If not, I wouldn't be surprised if he joins maybe in the January or at the end of the season, beginning of the new season, when things have sort of calmed down and the Amanda Staveley can start and the rest and bring in new players from January onwards. Because as said, we have to gain the respect to be up there, because the players that we are linked with, that people are talking about, in order to get them, we have to be up there. We're not, and we have to be playing in the Champions League. We have to be competing for honours. We're not. We're so way off right now, but that can happen in 3 or 4 years time, 5 years, whatever. But with Antonio Conte, we need a 5-year plan, and I feel like Antonio Conte would be the start of that. I don't want Antonio Conte to be here for 1 season, 2 seasons, 3 seasons. I want him to be here for the 5 years, the 6 years, and be winning things at Newcastle United, to have control. There was talk of he's not really had too much control at Chelsea or Inter Milan with money, and that's why he left in the summer when he won the Serie A with Inter Milan. But with Newcastle, if he comes in and be the manager, he's going to have that, and I'm fully behind him if this happens. If this comes off, that's unbelievable. To go from Steve Bruce to Antonio Conte, for me, that'll be a dream. He's the one manager I've wanted, from day one. If not Conte, I think Ralph Rangnick will be a decent shout. I'd even take Brendan Rodgers from Leicester. I think he's definitely built his profile up. If you see what he did at Liverpool, very unlucky not to win the league. He won the Charity Shield with Leicester, the FA Cup, and many more. He's another manager who could definitely, move up a level. No disrespect to Leicester, but he's got money behind him, and he could, work with that. But at the end of the day, I just feel like this is the start of something really, really special. And if and when we do win something, whether that be the League Cup first, the FA Cup, or the Premier League, it's going to be emotional, because for what we've gone through as a football club, for 14 years, it's been nothing but pain. Having to witness the lack of spending, the lack of TLC on the stadium, Sports Direct signs, and being called a laughingstock, being in the media for the wrong reasons. Some shit managers in the past, like Steve McLaren, Sam Allardyce, just to name a few. And, Mike Ashley, drinking with the fans, but then rejecting us and, not talking to us. Lee Charnley, Joe Kinnear, all that's going to be a distant memory. And the fact that we can look forward, with optimism, that we are going to be that powerhouse that, other clubs will want to thrive to be, that are, in a sort of situation where Newcastle once were under Mike Ashley. Yes, of course, there'll be a few fans that'll be jealous. That's fine, that's football, but I don't care. People will call, well, Oilcastle United, or they'll say this, that, and the other. Listen, I don't care. As long as I see my club be successful on and off the pitch, that's fine. We can have Mbappe, we can have Haaland, but at the end of the day, as long as I see them, play for the black and white shirt and give everything for the black and white shirt, and to try and help us win something, to build up a profile, that's great. Like, that's what you want to see. But right now, this is just the beginning. But it's great to have a United club back, to see everyone, pulling in the right direction. And the 7th of October 2021 will live long in the memory for the rest of my life. And as said, this is a life-changing moment for this football club to really kick on now and show what we're really about. And as I said, we're not just any normal football club. And I will say it right now, we are a big football club. People say you're not a big football club. You're just like a club in Newcastle. We're not. We are a one club city with thousands of fans, not just in Newcastle, but around the world. People don't see that. All they see is just, local fans attending the stadium, and that's it. No, there's more than that. Fans have kept away because of Mike Ashley, and that's totally understandable. With the amount of shit that we've gone through as a football club, fans don't want to put their money through, and I totally get that as well. But, this is a new direction now where fans can put their money in and feel proud, to support this badge, to support Newcastle United, and feel like they're part of something. And with Amanda Staveley, we're in safe hands as far as I'm concerned. And she's saying all the right things. And not only that, you know what it is, right? She said that she wants to put money, into the women's team, and she wants to try and potentially get the women's team into the WSL. I'd love to see that, because I've been enjoying, the women's team. We've had a good start to the season as far as I'm aware. And not just that, she wants to improve every angle, of this football club. She wants to, take Newcastle to the very, very heights. And as I said, I'm not deluded to say that it's going to happen overnight. Nothing happens overnight. It's going to take time. It's going to take a lot of patience, and I'm willing to be patient for as long as it takes in order to get to where we want to be. As I said, it's going to take a long time, but I feel like 5 to 10 years is definitely realistic, because at the end of the day, yeah, we say we're richer than Manchester City, we're richer than Chelsea, we're richer than this, that and the other. We are still streets behind, the likes of Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool, and we have to, be climbing the league in order to get these big players. Yes, we've got the billions of pounds, but at the end of the day, players will only sign for your football club if we are moving up that table and striving for success. And I'm sure, with our fan base, everyone's pulling behind it, and we will definitely be able to attract the best players, but it will take, as I said, a long time in order to do that, but it will, eventually get there. We just have to trust the process, and the football club is going to totally transform. It's going to be a lot different in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. It's not going to be the same club it is now in terms of how it looks. It's going to be very, very different, but the fan base will always be the same. But, the Spurs game next week is going to be electric. Whoever, is in charge in that dugout, whether it's Graham Jones, hopefully not Steve Bruce, Conte, Eddie Howe, whoever, it's going to be amazing, man. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be a memorable day for all the reasons. Whether we win, lose or draw, we've got our club back, and that is the main thing. No one's going to be arguing anymore. No sad statuses on Twitter or anything like that. It's going to be positive, and that's how it should be. And I can't wait for the January window to open, because we are going to splash some cash. There's no doubt about that. How much we'll spend, that remains to be seen. But to see our squad be transformed, over the next couple of windows is going to be something else. I mean, listen, I think the summer's where it's really going to begin, where we can, start getting in the players for the new season, and then we can really start climbing the league. I think this season, as I said, it's all about just staying up. But, it's just been a whirlwind 3 days. I'm still trying to get over, like, what's going on, and what's happened, and just the whole night as well on Thursday, going to the stadium, drinking, celebrating with the fans and singing songs. And I'm just glad Mike Ashley's gone. I really am. And we can now, draw a line under his era and look to the future. But as said, if there's any manager I'd love right now to take over this football club, to manage it and to get the best out of the players that we've currently got, Antonio Conte for me. And yeah, as said, to the PIF takeover, as I say, I just want to say a massive thank you to, Amanda Staveley for, not giving up on the football club, for fighting, tooth and nail to get this done and to give us the chance of being the club that we once were back in the 90s and early 2000s. And as said, bring on the success. That's all I'm going to say. Whether fans like it or not, the opposition, that's what I'm talking about. Whether they like it or not, they're going to have to suck it up, and get on with it. But exciting times. Exciting times. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It's been growing ever since the takeover. Hit that like button, put your comments down below, and I'll catch you all later. How are the lads?